Easy question first, name and title.
I'm Chris, the Chris Schock Development Director.
All right, so you had an update on the WASM project. Can you kind of describe what the update included?
Sure. So our marketing consultant was here sharing the progress in our My WASM Story campaign. This can be found at wasm.org and at our WASM Facebook page. It's been a process this year for the city to share a series of positive stories or stories of investment, of community leadership, and of partnership or entrepreneurialism within the community. So we're glad to showcase some investors and developers who've made significant contributions to Wausau, along with entrepreneurs that have started businesses or have expanded. We've done both small businesses and large businesses, and some community leaders which make our community unique and marketable. And we've been sharing that story throughout the region, throughout the Wausau region obviously, but then also within the super region in Minneapolis and Chicago and other markets, and Madison and other markets as well, through social media and other kind of targeted placements.
Okay, and then what are some of the plans moving forward with the project?
We're excited. Tonight the marketing consultant shared upcoming partnerships with some of the high schools to work with their business and marketing classes directly to gain their insight and ideas about ways to improve the WASM campaign, and then a continued curation and building of interest in the stories that have been developed and continue to cultivate those. Storytelling is an important part of really any community, but we feel that the storytelling component is so intrinsic to the development story of Wausau.
Another thing that was brought up tonight is a new spot for a horticulture space. So one of the questions is, what exactly is that for the area? What is a therapeutic healing garden, which is what it was called?
Yeah, so a therapeutic garden, as we've learned, is really a space, especially for folks who've come through or either in incarceration or recently released, but partnership to allow them to do kind of hands-on gardening in a therapeutic environment. And the city had been working with the county agricultural extension expert from UW Extension, Brianna Wright, to develop a proposal, and she's crafted that proposal for the former Vino Latte location. Folks might know that we acquired that property for the right-of-way expansion, future right-of-way expansion. We were proud to incubate the Vino Latte business in the old Texaco station that the city had acquired. Vino Latte has moved out. They've expanded. They're now in a more permanent home, a bigger space on the west side. And so the old building was demolished, and now to see the space redeveloped in a garden structure is a great use because it's a temporary use pending redevelopment of the corner or the expansion of the roadways.
Okay. And then how soon do you think we could see that garden being used?
Oh, I think their project, they're going to put together their project for next year. So it'll be next year growing season. I'm sure they'll be ready for it.
Okay. And then in today's meeting, you also decided on the Sherman Street RFPs. There were two different proposals. Can you describe the two proposals?
Sure. So the city went through RFP on remnant parcels that we had along Sherman Street from the reconstruction of the street years ago. And so we opened that process up as we do always. It's a public process. It's noticed in the paper. We're open to receiving proposals. Those proposals can come from neighbors, from developers, from really whomever who has an idea about the reuse of the property. Folks might remember we just completed the redevelopment RFP of all the Thomas Street parcels, which are being redeveloped into a mixture of commercial and residential properties, including townhome duplexes and an insurance office, and so it's good to see that. And so we also did that with Sherman Street, and we selected a proposal from a developer to build a series of single-family bungalows on those properties. They'll have to go through the rezoning process, and they will also kind of finalize the package or proposal, but the committee has accepted that proposal to move forward.
Okay. And then there was an update on the River Life project. So the city has officially decided to end the existing agreement, correct?
Well, the committee made that recommendation tonight. It would go to council on 9/11.
Okay. And then that'll include discussing with the city attorney about next steps, correct?
Sure. So I think we've also received an open proposals. We received 3 proposals in the area, 2 for the existing project and 1 that was unrelated on an adjacent parcel. We're going to be examining those. The committee's asked those proposals for some more information and have invited them to attend on October 2nd to a public meeting where they will present their kind of general idea about what they'd like to do if they were selected as a developer, and and what that expectation would entail, and have an interview session with the committee. So we're excited about that. It's very positive to receive proposals from major developers who want to move the project forward. We have always been very confident in the marketability of the project. We're confident that it can move forward quickly, and the mayor and the council have taken steps to move it forward as quickly as possible, but also kind of as diligently or methodically as possible as well.
And then what sort of information does the council need from the new RFPs?
Sure. So the RFP outlines 7 bullets, I believe. In the document, track record, a history of success, financial wherewithal, the scope of the proposed project, what their expectations of city participation are, what the project will look like, and the use and all those issues. So that they'll have to answer those questions. They've answered many of them in their request of interest, because both proposals alluded or assigned that they would take over the project as it was already structured, so we know what that project looks like. That project was already obviously approved by the council, so but that'll be the process of them kind of defining if there are any changes to that, and what their timeline would be for implementation. The project has been stalled for the past 3 months while the contractor and the developer have been at odds, but we've held them accountable. The mayor's been very clear that we're moving as quickly as we can, and still maintaining all the legal processes to ensure that the developer has their rights to fix the problem and move it forward. But if they're not able to do that, then we have to move forward. And luckily, with the ground lease and the development agreement, the city has the ability to do that and hold them accountable.